let's start with Secretary Gatchalian.
Good morning, Daphne. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Being the lead agency in disaster response, kami ang in charge sa relief operations. Pero gusto ko lang i-emphasize na nung pag-upo ng ating Pangulo, ang kanyang direktiba ay lagi tayong handa. So we came up with a program called Buong Bansa Handa, if you can recall, wherein we pre-position goods all year round. Hindi na tayo nag-aantay, ang paradigm natin o ang mindset natin, hindi na tayo nag-aantay ng sakuna pa na dumating, kundi nakakalat na sa mga regional, provincial, warehouse at municipal warehouses natin ang ating mga family food packs at iba pang mga gagamitin during relief operations. Sa katunayan, bago natin naramdaman yung epekto ng bagyong Christine, ang national stockpile natin, ito yung mga family food packs na nakakalat sa lahat ng mga warehouses natin sa buong bansa, nasa kulang-kulang 2 million pieces. Ngayong umaga, I don't know if they can just flash the data, meron tayong 1.98 to 600 million family food packs. Nabawasan mula kahapon hanggang ngayon kasi nagre-release na tayo. So we're ready. Sa katunayan, kausap ko kahapon si Mayor Legacion. The day before, kausap ko si Congressman El Rey Villafuerte. Kausap ko rin kahapon ng ating acting governor ng Albay, si Vice Governor Glenda. At ang assurance namin sa kanila, bagamat sila ang first line of defense, ang local government units, handang-handa ang pamalang nasyonal na i-augment o dagdagan ang kanilang mga supply. In fact, in that table, kung may dedirect ko lang kayo, sa Region 5, the whole Bicol region, bago tumama ang bagyo, we had around 150 or 170,000 na mga family food packs on the ground in Region 5. As of this morning, we still have around 121,000 family food packs in the region at tuloy-tuloy ang withdrawal ng mga local government units. Pero hindi tayo tumitigil dyan. Habang nagwi-withdraw sila, nagpapadala na tayo ng karagdagang another 100,000 family food packs sa Bicol. En route na yun ngayon. So, hindi pa man nauubos yung family food packs doon sa region, dinadagdagan na ho natin siya. So again, ang paradigm o ang mindset ng pamalang nasyonal ng DSWD pagdating sa response, hindi tayo nag-aantay na sakuna bago natin dalhin doon. Pre-positioned na, yan ang instruction ng ating Pangulo, yan ang patuloy niyang minomonitor sa akin day in and day out, 365 days a year. Kasi alam naman natin na hindi lahat ng sakuna ay nape-predict katulad ng bagyo. May earthquakes, may volcano, anything can happen. Kaya nga ang mindset natin, buong bansa handa, lagi tayong handa, nandun na ang mga goods natin.
Thank you, Secretary Gatchalian. Let's hear from Director Posadas of the Office of Civil Defense.
Thank you, Daphne. Good morning, everyone. Ang Office of Civil Defense po ay patuloy na nagbibigay ng kanyang tulong, no, ng kanyang serbisyo as the Secretariat of the NDRMC, which is chaired by no less than the SND Secretary Teodoro, and of course the Executive Director Undersecretary Ariel Nepomuceno. And we are working closely with the Vice Chair for Response and Early Recovery on our efforts on Christine. And so your NDRIM OC in Camp Aguinaldo is on red alert to make sure that everything is addressed properly, along with 8 other regional emergency operations center, namely our emergency operations center in Ilocos region, in Cagayan Valley, in Central Luzon, in the Cordillera Autonomous Region, Mimaropa, Calabarzon, and Region 8 in Eastern Visayas. And so clusters in response are activated, and si Christine ngayon ay nasa atin pang Philippine Area of Responsibility, so no let up, and we continue to monitor and serve alongside with the different agencies of the council. Some of them are seated in this table, and we are continuously implementing the guidance of the President to provide timely, adequate, and relevant response and for our public who are victims of disaster. So thank you very much, and good morning to all.
Thank you, Director Posadas. And now let's hear from Assistant GM Palomar of Philippine Ports Authority.
Good morning. We're currently monitoring the situation on the ground in our various ports. Currently, we have 7,313 stranded passengers as well as 1,733 RoRo vessels which are unable to travel. We have 14 ports which are currently experiencing the effects of the storm. There are no trips as of this date. We'd request that the passengers monitor the situation and not proceed to the terminals, considering that there are no trips, and that we are also providing food for the stranded passengers. We thank the DSWD for their assistance in providing food for our passengers. Thank you.
Thank you. And now let's hear from the National Power Corporation. Ms. Sarah, please.
Hello, good morning. So, aside from the mandate of the National Power Corporation to provide missionary electrification to the off-grid areas all over the Philippines, so NAPOCOR also manages major dams in Luzon and Mindanao. So, for the 5 major dams that NAPOCOR manages in Luzon, these are the Ambuclao Dam and the Binga Dam in Benguet, the San Roque Dam in Pangasinan, the Angat Dam in Bulacan, and the Caliraya Dam in Laguna. So our mandate is to ensure that the public or the downstream communities of the dams are safe from the risk of the dam. So we ensure that should there be spilling operations conducted by these dams, so the LGUs primarily are partners with OCD and the provincial and the municipal disaster risk reduction management offices of these provinces are informed of the timely releases of these dams so that they can provide the necessary preparatory measures that the communities need to be advised that they should not be near the river to avoid any accidents or risk of floodings. And right now, so we are monitoring the spilling of the 3 dams in Luzon. So these are the Ambuclao and Binga dams and the San Roque Dam. Next slide, please. Currently, these dams are in minimal spilling operation. So they are only open at 0.5 and 1 meter. So this is to ensure that the pagdating po nung bagyong Christine is meron po tayong sapat na reservoir allocation para po pag yung ina-anticipate po natin na malaking buhos po ng pag-ulan is maagapan po siya at hindi po, kumbaga, iipunin lang po ng ating mga dam. So yung mga releases po dito na ginagawa is very controlled po siya and will definitely not cause flooding sa downstream communities po natin. And these dams are, nag-start po kaming mag-release ng tubig dito sa mga dams prior to the arrival of Bagyong Christine sa North Luzon to ensure po na kapag ka po dumating na po yung bagyo is hindi na po nating sasabayan ng releases. So, hindi na po siya makakapagdagdag pa ng flooding downstream in case nga po na, ayun. And fortunately, the forecast from Pag-asa and yung pong na-receive po natin na ulan, thank God po na medyo na ano po siya, yung initial forecast po na malaki is nabawasan po siya. Kaya yung pong forecast po na releases po ng ating mga dams as of today is hindi po tayo magdadagdag ng any gate opening. So assured po yung ating mga communities na kung ano po yung mga na-experience po nila ngayon is yan na po, and then we anticipate na should the weather condition improve or yung pong pagpas po ng bagyo po natin at makalabas na po na siya ng PAR, we can terminate the spilling operation at this time po. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the media? Leth Narciso, DZRH.
Sir, sa OCD po, bali ilan na po yung casualties natin as of this time?
In-expect ko pong itatanong ninyo yun. Ang running total po namin ay 10. No? Ito po yung latest. Pero sa amin pong CTREP, yung for validation, meaning officially transmitted to us, 7 po as of 8 a.m. kanina. And meron din po tayong 2 injuries at saka 9 missing.
Saan pong mga lugar itong casualty?
Sandali lang po. Ito po ay yung sa 10 pong reported dead ay sa La Union, sa Quezon, sa Albay, sa Naga, sa Catanduanes at saka sa Masbate po. Yun pong injuries ay sa Camarines Norte and sa Southern Leyte. And yung atin pong missing ay sa La Union, Quezon, Camarines Sur, Masbate, and Cebu po.
Doon na lang po sa mga lugar na apektado ng Bagyong Christina, ano po yung urgent needs na hinihingi?
Ang kung sa Bicol po ang pag-uusapan natin, ito po ay yung pag-rescue, no. I was coordinating po with our regional director sa OCD5 kanina before this press briefing, si RD Clyde Yucot, and he mentioned that ang challenge pa rin nila doon are the floodings, no, which are really mataas pa. So merong challenges sila. There are enough resources, pero yun nga, sa taas ng baha. These are in Naga and in several other municipalities in Camarines Sur, such as Presentacion, Bula, and the other towns nearby. But as we speak, merong padating na mga reinforcement from the Southern Luzon Command, both personnel and equipment. And at the same time, magpapadala din ng tulong doon, ano? Kasi we practice at OCD yung pagtulong po ng mga less affected the mga regions to assist nearby regions, ano. Yung Region 8 po is sending assistance in terms of teams and equipment po today.
Okay. Eden Santos, Net 25.
Hello, good morning po, sir. Sa OCD pa rin po. Medyo para pong nagkakaroon ng difference sa figures sa mga casualty ang OCD sa PNP po. Saan po ba nagkakaroon ng, nahihirapan po ba ang OCD sa pag-collate ng mga information, about sa mga casualties? Meron po bang coordination ng PNP at OCD para maging tally po yung ating mga datos nang hindi po nagkakaroon ng kalituhan din sa ating mga publiko?
Okay po, wala pong confusion doon in terms of doon sa mga datos namin. In fact, yung pinagmumulan po ng datos ng OCD, pag sinabi pong validated kasi, yun ay ibig sabihin kompleto yung documentation at attributable po doon sa existing disasters. Medyo ingat po kami doon sa pagde-declare ng casualties due to a particular disaster kasi this forms part of our statistics. Kasi ito po ay in the near future, ito rin po ay ina-account natin. When I was Operation Service Chief sa OCD, meron pa pong mga documents na sinasabpina. So iniingatan po natin yon dahil talagang dapat sigurado tayo na attributable talaga to a disaster. Complementing us po are the efforts of the Philippine National Police kasi kailangan namin yung report nila. And then, of course, nagsisimula yan sa local government units involved, no? Yung halimbawa, yung municipal health officer nila, yung kanilang yung kanilang municipal social worker, SWDO, at saka yung kanilang police. So, at saka yung DREAM-O nila na doon nagsisimula yung pag-process nun, ma'am. And then, aakyat yun with the documentations, with the death certificate, with the blotter, positive identification, and then aakyat lang yan sa region and then i-report sa MDM cluster which is facilitated by the DILG, and then we report po as validated. Makikita nyo dun sa tally ng CITREP, lumilipat po siya once na validated siya.
Yesterday po kasi ang casualty natin ay isa, pero sa PNP 3 na. Parang ganyan po. Ito pong 10 ngayon ay validated na po ito, well documented, compared po dun sa sinasabi ng PNP na 20 casualties.
Yes, ma'am. Running total pa lang po ito. Ito po ay still for validation. Hindi po kayo dapat malilito dahil eventually yun pong nire-report nila will form part. Yun po yung basis ng processing namin eh. Kasi yung police blotter, police report, and then the MHO report, very important po yun, plus the death certificate. Yun po ang pinagmumulan ng proseso ng management of the death and the missing process.
So 10 po, hindi 20. Sa PNP kasi 20.
Ma'am, yung ngayon po sa report namin, eventually magtatali din yan eh. There was one time in Carina, milya-milya po, 40 plus na sila kami maano pa. Pero eventually po, pag na-validate na yan, ma'am, that would add up po. Pareho rin siya.
Nakapagpadala na po ba ng mga rubber boats sa Naga, gaya po nung kahilingan ni dating BP Lenny, at sinagot naman din po yesterday sa situation briefing ni PBPM?
As we speak po, kinokolekta na po yung mga commitment din ni Secretary Teodoro through the J3 po. In fact, nakita ko na po yung listahan ng ng mga equipment. Meron din po tayong 17 na air assets, no, na naka-preposition sa Villamor, naka-preposition sa Cebu, which are readily deployable, weather permitting, kasi we have to be sure din po that our pilots, our assets are safe. And yan po ay commitment, and we are going to keep it. And as we speak po, nagdumadating na rin yung tulong sa Bicol. Una, sabi ko nga, yung galing sa Solcom, which is the area command nearest, yung jurisdiction niya po yung Bicol, and Region 8, which is the nearby region from Tacloban.
Okay. Ivan Mayrina, GMA7.
Sorry, sa OCD pa rin po. Kumusta ho ang initial reports natin ng landfall, the damage caused by the landfall in Isabela?
Kanina rin po, I was anticipating that this question will be asked. I asked yun pong regional director natin sa Region 2, at candidly po, sabi niya, nung kausap niya yung PDREAM, yung Municipal Dream O ng Divilacan, where the landfall happened at past midnight kanina, when Super Typhoon, severe tropical storm Christine made landfall. Ang comparison nga po is mas malakas pa daw kahapon po nung isang araw yung ulan at hangin kesa doon sa actual landfall. So parang, of course, Divilacan is used to these conditions, but just to compare, malakas din po, pero mas malakas pa daw kahapon na hindi nagla-landfall kesa during its actual landfall.
So hindi ho nag-materialize yung pinangangambahan natin na bago kasi mag-landfall, mag-i-intensify pa. So we expected extensive damage na mukhang hindi ho nangyari.
Yes, sir. And then I asked also, wala pa pong reported casualties as of now, sir, as we speak, because I talked to him just a few minutes before this press con. And hopefully it stays that way na wala talaga tayong casualties. We're hoping and praying.
Thank you.
Alexis Romero, Philippine Star.
Kay Secretary Gatchalian po, no? So nakapasok na po ba yung national government relief efforts sa Bicol, sa devastated areas?
Well, first of all, tulad ng pinaliwanag ko kanina, hindi namin kailangan pumasok kasi nandun na tayo bago pa nangyari yung bagyo. This is part of our program of pre-positioning ng mga goods natin. Hindi na natin inaantay kasi nga we know the logistics will be very difficult, mahirap, kapag sasabayan natin na nandyan yung typhoon tsaka tayo papasok. So yung term na kung nakapasok na, nandun na yung goods. All year long, they're always there. Pangalawa, gusto ko lang linawin, dahil ako naging mayor rin ako for 9 years, sa local government code, ang first responders will be the local government units. They have their own quick response fund, they have their own disaster funds, they have their own support system pagdating sa disaster. Ang DSWD at ang national government papasok to augment and support kung sakaling kulangin sila. So right now, kung ang tanong natin is ready kami to augment and support, as I showed the figures kanina, yes, we are more than ready to augment and support. Ngayon, maaaring ang tinutukoy nyo doon na may mga nakukuha pa rin tayong reports na hindi pa nakakarating doon yung mga goods. That will be the responsibility ng local government units natin na dalhin yung tawag namin doon yung last mile distribution. Kasi sila ang may tao. Remember, ang social welfare is devolved. Hindi sasapat ang tao ng DSWD na kami ang magde-deliver to the doorstep ng mga victims. So that will be the responsibility ng ating mga local government unit at nagsimula na. In fact, kahapon, nag-start na mag-withdraw yung mga LGUs. When I say withdraw from our provincial and regional warehouses ng support ng goods. Nag-withdraw na sila. Kaya kung makita nyo yung numero na pinost ko kahapon during the command conference, the goods was at around 2 million. Now it's down to 1.982. So bumababa na yan at bibilis yung pagbaba niyan, lalo na makikita nyo sa Region 5 as the water subside and as they can withdraw the goods. Classic example sa Albay, nung the night before at until yesterday morning, medyo masama pa yung kondisyon. Pero from what I gathered from a regional director, okay, nag-subside na sa Albay. So nakakakuha na yung mga trucks ng mga local government units ng kanilang mga support goods galing sa amin. So now we're focusing our efforts on Naga and Camarines Sur, and we continuously talk to the local chief executives, yung governor, yung mayors nila, na kapag bumaba na, humupa na yung tubig, kaya na nila mag-withdraw sa aming mga warehouse, pwede na nila kunin yun anytime nag-aantay yun. Pangalawa, katugunan ng ating Pangulo kahapon, nag-deploy na rin ng MMDA agad-agad nung water purification machines nila kasama ng OCD. Nandun na rin yon. So that is now for the disposal ng mga local government units doon kung saan kakailanganin. Pangatlo, ang minamanage ng DSWD together with the province and the LGUs, yung mga evacuation centers. Alam natin limited yung pumunta sa evacuation center kasi napakalawak na nung sakuna and marami nga na-trap na sa kanilang mga tahanan. So despite that, we are helping augment the food requirements sa loob ng mga evacuation centers.
Okay. Kasi nabanggit ni Presidente yung sa rubber boats, pag nakapasok na yung national government, tsaka sila makapagbibigay nung rubber boats. So yun po yung parang naging context.
I think that's a context in the rescue side.
Yes.
But in the response side, our context has always been nandun na dapat yung goods bago pa mangyari yung sakuna. And we've done this so many times, not just for typhoon, but for volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, fires, every day. Minsan lang hindi napapaulat. Every day we augment local government units with the requirements pag may sunog sa kanila. Minsan maliliit lang itong mga sakuna kaya hindi na-report.
So, sa rescue side, Director Posadas, yung pagpasok ng national government, napuntahan na ho ba yung mga devastated areas sa Bicol?
Kanina, yung na-mention ko kanina, sir, no, yung napasok na yung Pulangi at saka yung, tama yung sabi ni Sec, no, Pulangi at saka Libon. So, ang concentration natin ngayon, yung mga baha pa dito sa Camarines Sur. Kasama yung Naga. Sabi ni Director Yukot, medyo meron pa tayong challenge dun sa ibang mga malalayong mga barangays and lugar. No? But we are getting there with the augmentation ng Solcom and the Region 8 contingent. I'm sure malaking tulong yon. And with the assets ng armed forces, the readily deployable, that would address. And hopefully, pag gumanda ang panahon and then bumaba na ng konti yung pagbaha, then mas matututukan natin talaga yung mas puspusan na pagtulong. But I agree with the Secretary, yun kasing batas natin ngayon, in General Appropriations Act, allows prepositioning, no? At saka may mga bagong konsepto like anticipatory needs, no? Sinalagay na rin natin yan sa ating menu of platforms para mas maging effective yung ating response. And of course, we appreciate meron yung SEC, meron kayo nung yung predictive analytics. I-advertise ko lang kasi ginagamit din yan ng OCD in planning for our yung mga non-food items. We work parallel, complementary with the DSWD. And I think that's a very good science-based computation para alam namin kung enough ba o kulang pa at ilan pa ang dadalhin natin doon. So, yung efforts natin are really complementary.
Okay, perhaps maybe this is also an opportune time to talk about, just last week we had the Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction, and the Philippines' anticipatory preemptive approach has been very much, how do I say it? It was called a lighthouse. It was called a guiding light, something that other countries could emulate. So in keeping with that, Secretary, we're already watching out for a low-pressure area in the south.
Yes. Actually, we were talking about it with the OCD and our friends from NAPOCOR and PPA. There's a brewing low-pressure area in the east side of Mindanao. I think the Pag-asa said it's too early to say kung papasok or hindi papasok. It will be a severe tropical depression. But either way, we have stockpiles also in Mindanao and Eastern Visayas. Later on, we can share with you the graph that we pulled out a while ago. Those remain intact. And we continuously produce goods out of our Cebu Processing Center. Kung matatanda natin, dalawa kasi yung repacking center ng bansa. Nasa Pasay, yung tinatawag naming National Resource Center. At nasa Visayas, nasa Cebu naman yung para sa Visayas and Mindanao. There are plans, part of the anticipatory action, to build one starting next year. The third one na ilalagay naman natin sa Caraga, nasa Butuan. That will serve the Mindanao and the eastern seaboard ng Visayas, Mindanao. That's very prone to typhoon. Plans are also underway to look into expanding more of our packing centers to the eastern seaboard, halimbawa sa Bicol region and Quezon, Quezon and all the way to Region 2. Pero right now, what's in the pipeline is the construction of a third repacking center in Butuan. The site has been given to us by the city government of Butuan, right beside the airport. Ito kasi kaya kinikwento ko to, these are the platforms of anticipatory action. Anticipatory action, ibig sabihin, you anticipate, wag mo nang antayin mangyari. So we want to make sure na bukod sa mga regional, provincial, municipal warehouses natin, yung repacking center natin nakakalat rin dapat sa buong bansa. So that's something that we're working on right now. Mabanggit lang, bukod sa response, amin rin ang early recovery. Part yan lagi ng menu ng Pangulo natin na una pagkain, pangalawa will be the cash assistance. Once mapasok, now I can use the term, once mapasok na ng mga residente yung kanilang mga bahay after the storm at ma-realize nila yung extent ng damage, papasok ulit ang DSWD to extend financial assistance together with DSUD naman to repair, rehabilitate yung kanilang mga tahanan at ari-arian na maaring napinsala. But right now, our mindset is still in the rescue and the relief operations, pero nasa menu namin yung financial assistance for early recovery.
Okay. Chona, you, People's Journal.
Attorney Palomar, sir. Just would like to get an update dun sa dalawang barko na sumadsad sa Batangas. Yung kapitan nawawala.
Okay. There are two vessels in Batangas which hit our port. One was the Super Shuttle 2. It was at anchorage. Sometime during the night, it broke anchor. It hit our port, and when they were looking for the captain, he was not on the vessel, which is in violation of our regulations. We are currently conducting an investigation on this, and the proper charges will be filed. With regards to the other vessel, Cassandra, this vessel was seized by the Bureau of Customs last week as part of a joint task force with the Bureau of Customs, the Maritime Police, as well as the Coast Guard. It was tied to the dock. As a protocol during the storm, when storms are coming, it was requested that it be moved. Meetings were held with PPA and the Bureau of Customs last October 22. The Bureau of Customs said they'll take it into consideration, and ATI wrote a letter to them on October 23. Nonetheless, the vessel was not moved, and it was completely unmanned. So an investigation is also ongoing regarding the liabilities of the individuals involved.
Sir, makakasuhan yung kapitan ng barko for abandonment?
If he truly abandoned the vessel, he could be charged for abandoning the vessel.
Sir, may reported na po bang mga ports na damage sa iba't ibang bahagi?
Yes, there are several ports which have reported damage. Currently, one moment. Currently, we have reported damage in Bicol, the port of Bulan, Sorsogon, the port of Piuduran in Albay, and our base port in Legazpi. The extent of the damage and the cost of repairs is still being assessed as of this date.
So, sir, temporary close po yung operation nitong mga ports na to?
No, they're closed because of the storm. But I don't think the damage will result in the total closure of the port.
Thank you, sir.
Harley Valbuena, DZME, all the way in the back.
Hi, good morning to Secretary Gatchalian and perhaps also to OCD. Sirs, kahapon po sa situation briefing with the President na pag-usapan na humihiling na tayo ng assistance to other countries, particularly our ASEAN neighbors. So, may pumasok na po bang pledges or assistance from other countries? And at the same time, na-activate na po ba natin yung EDCA sites for humanitarian efforts in collaboration with USA?
Yes, sir. Yes, that was actually one of the discussion points yesterday. But as we speak, actually we are going to, the SND has already spoken to the ambassador of Singapore to the Philippines, and he also mentioned Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. These are our ASEAN neighbors, co-members of ASEAN. And he zeroed in particularly on their air assets to be used. This is in consonance with the President's guidance to try and probably try the air route to bring in more goods to the affected areas due to the roads which are non-passable. So I think as we speak, there are certain paperworks and documentations which have to be undertaken. And soon when that will be done, and I'm sure we will announce if this will already operationalize.
So sir, yung pong mga nabanggit nyong bansa, lahat po sila magpapadala ng aircrafts?
Not necessarily, kasi meron din naman tayong sarili. Ano? I mentioned 17 air assets available to us with the assets of the Philippine Air Force. And they will basically augment yung mga efforts natin, particularly on logistics run, yung mga cargo planes, cargo aircrafts that could haul yung mga mabibigat na cargo and bring them into the hard-hit areas, particularly in Bicol. And this would be on standby kung kulang yung ating assets. But we are already anticipating, so we are already coordinating with them as part of our ASEAN cooperation.
Thank you. Maricel Halili, TV5.
Good morning. Sir, Director Posadas, just one quick follow-up lang. Do we have a rough estimate as to gaano kadami yung mga trapped individuals na kailangan i-rescue, particularly in the Bicol region?
The only data I have right now, ma'am, are yung mga in evacuation centers, no? But I don't have the exact numbers of those trapped because as we speak, they are still doing rescue. And we can have those data when they would be back in their offices and do the reports. But as soon as they are available, we will try to communicate them with you, to you. Anyway, nag-uusap naman tayo in between this press conference. Thank you.
Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Kay Secretary Gatchalian, I know sir it's still too early to talk about cash assistance, pero magkano po yung budget na naka-allot natin for this?
Well, too early in the sense kasi our social workers will have to assess. Normally, we classify that as totally damaged and partially damaged. I cannot give you a figure kasi baka naman ma-underestimate namin dahil hindi pa namin nakikita nga yung extent ng damage. Pero kung ang tatanungin nyo kung may available funds, again, let me categorically say that the DSWD has available funds ready to mobilize financial assistance in the coming days. Hindi naman yan na uubos. That's on top of our regular assistance funds at meron rin kami yung sa disaster funds namin. So nakahanda ho tayo. Sa katunayan, I always say na I'm very thankful that we have a Department of Budget and Management Secretary who's also very in tune with what's happening. Just this morning, she and I were exchanging messages and she said na not to worry kasi meron pa rin silang naka-standby na funds sa kanila. So iba pa yun na sa amin. Kung kailanganin daw namin, sabihin namin sa kanila.
Sir, we still expect a number of typhoons to come in the Philippines. Kumusta yung budget natin, sir?
We're praying hard na hindi na dumami pa yung typhoon. Kasi kahit na may budget tayo, sana wag natin magamit sa ganitong paraan. The budget can always be used for developmental issues. But we're ready. Kasi early on, we already anticipated na La Nina to. So the typhoon season will be protracted all the way to the first quarter of next year. So naka-ready ho tayo. In fact, we're already keeping an eye out already on the second storm that's brewing sa eastern seaboard natin. And we know na marami pang darating sa November. So we're ready. We have the funds. We can mobilize.
Kasi the President was mentioning something about a budgeting problem. Kasama po ba yung DSWD sa affected dito?
Unfortunately, I cannot comment on something na hindi ko alam yung konteksto. It might be wrong for me to do so. Hindi ko narinig kasi yun yesterday.
Okay. Sam Medinilla, Business Mirror.
For Sir Posadas po. Yung follow-up lang po ko dun sa tanong ni Harley kanina. So far, bukod po dun sa mga logistics or relief assistance from other countries, wala pa pong nagpe-pledge ng donation or assistance in kind or in cash.
Let me jump in lang.
Yes,
just to be fair, the Manila Economic and Cultural Office has been arranging a series, hindi lang for this storm, has been arranging a series of rice donations that started even last year. It wasn't really earmarked for this storm, pero ang nakalagay dun sa donation na nalikom nila is for continuous efforts and activities of DSWD. So right now, as we speak, meron tayong isang shipment ng rice na nasa pier na due for release today. And definitely, dahil mas pressing ang matter natin ngayon sa Bicol, we'll put that in a relief boxes that we keep on augmenting sa Bicol.
kay Sir Posadas.
Yung sa amin naman, yun pa rin, no? Ang masasagot ko lang, kagaya ni Sec, ang narinig ko lang kasi kahapon was on yung logistics run, no? Yung pag-transport of ng mga goods natin and other assistance in kind papunta doon sa hard hit area. So as sabi ko nga kanina, ginagawa na yung mga paperworks, and soonest I think it will be a go kung wala namang magiging problema, because we have existing ASEAN partnership agreements.
I think if I read it right, ang context ng statement ata ni Secretary Guibo yesterday was augmentation. With or without that, the government is ready to respond. In fact, as we speak right now, we're loading more goods sa mga iba't ibang Philippine Coast Guard vessels, both going north, and we're waiting to be loaded naman going to Bicol. At the same time, we're talking, kahapon nandun si General Browner, as soon as the weather permits, I think our C-130s are also ready for deployment. Kumbaga, in addition, so, ready ang pamahalaan, ang kanyang kapasidad, both in terms of providing relief and logistics. Ang sinabi lang ata ni Secretary Guibo, at syempre hindi nyo maaalis sa amin na maghanap pa ng karagdagang tulong.
Tapos, another question, sir. May initial data na po ba yung OCD regarding dun sa damage to agriculture nung tropical storm Christy?
Sa ngayon, medyo wala pa kasi ang ano natin talaga ngayon is rescue mode tayo. And kasi kailangan at least makapag-deploy tayo ng mga teams natin, our DANA teams natin, kasama ang DSWD at saka iba pang mga agencies dito. Ito yung assessment teams na ginagawa natin immediately after, no? As soon as conditions are safe also for our teams, kasi safety first, no? Baka mamaya madagdag sila doon sa numero ng casualties. So as soon as it's safe to deploy them, then we will deploy them. That's part of the menu of our services para ma-identify natin kung ano yung mga immediate needs. And from there, we will also identify if there would be a need for a more formal, thorough assessment that will require yung medyo mas matagal kasi yun, yung post-disaster needs assessment. These are usually for big ticket projects na on rehabilitation and recovery.
That's na lang po. For sa Napocor po, for Ma'am Sera, meron na po ba tayong record kung ilan yung mga areas na nawalan ng kuryente? At saka kung kailan po natin expected ma-restore yung power supply dun sa mga affected areas?
Unfortunately, I do not have the record right now. Pero we can get back to you after this to provide the information. Thank you.
Okay. Question from Tuesday New, DZBB, all the way there.
Hi, good morning po. To Secretary Rex. Sir, may na-mention kayo before na yung family food boxes po ninyo ay lalagyan na rin ng mga ready-to-eat meals from DOST. Mayroon na po bang kasama yung boxes nyo ngayon or in the coming or in the future?
Nakahiwalay yun na box.
Okay.
We were developed together with the National Nutrition Council, Department of Science and Technology. We're about to unveil it this November nga. A ready-to-eat box. Nakahiwalay siya kasi ang purpose niyan, number one, halimbawa sa evacuation center, it takes time bago makaset up ng soup kitchen. So pangtawid do, halimbawa yung isang araw nakakainin ng pamilya, these are products na in-incubate or dinevelop ng DOST with Filipino manufacturers na ngayon bibili ng DSWD at ilalagay doon sa ready-to-eat food boxes natin. This November, ilo-launch namin yon, papakita namin, then we will now start the procurement process. It's certified by DOST, it's certified by the National Nutrition Council, and narinig ko nga kapon, nag-usap kami ng Philippine Ports Authority para na rin sa mga stranded passengers. So, they're high-protein bars, high-protein cookies, meron nga doon na parang rice na may ulam na nasa loob ng mga sachet na hindi mo na kailangan lutuin. Kakainin na lang. And it's parang katumba siya ng family food box but ready to eat family food boxes for a day. Kasi alam naman natin, pag day 2, mas nakaset up na yung mga evacuation center ng soup kitchens, we go back to the original family food box.
So, ano yun, sir? Sa each family, halimbawa, may family food box galing DSWD and another from DOST.
No, the DOST, amin rin yun. It's just that DOST was the one who developed the technology for those. Na lagi nyo nakikita, yung DOST, meron silang research and development arm kung saan tinutulungan nila yung mga maliliit na mga negosyante, mga maliliit na kooperatiba na madagdagan ng value ang kanilang mga produkto. Isa sa nagawa nila are ready-to-eat meals. Purely by Filipino companies, by small and medium enterprises. Ang nagiging problema minsan itong mga bagong mga MSME na to, wala silang markado. So kami ang magiging markado nila. So matatanggap nila 2 box, let's say. Depends on the situation. Let's say may sunog at hindi ma-set up ang soup kitchen or walang kuryente, hindi makaluto. Then we have to give our ready-to-eat food box. Or sa pier, for instance, imposible naman na gumawa sila ng soup kitchen doon, although we do our mobile kitchen there. But this will be given to mga immediate need para lang may makain ang mga mamamayan natin. They're high-protein meals and cookies and supplements. Na masarap rin, by the way, kasi baka isipin ng mga tao, pag nutritious, hindi masarap. DOST has perfected the art of delicious and nutritious ready-to-eat meals.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
Sana pala nagdala ako ng sample para sa inyo ngayong araw.
Yun yung hinihintay nila.
Nakalimutan ko, kinain ko eh. Oo nga. Dapat
Alexis Romero, Philippine Star.
Kay Manager Shera na lang po. So nabanggit niyo po kanina yung pag-release ng water from the dam controlled. Kasi naging experience dati ng mga residents dun sa recent disaster sa Metro Manila, there was this release ng dam that flooded the downstream communities. So for the record, we can assure the public that there will be no repeat of such incidents wherein people were complaining because there were floods in the area because of the dam releases.
Actually, this is we recently amended the dam protocols po, and this is also in line with the directive of our president. So prior to our amendment, we thought it was enough that we should have a sufficient lead time on to warn the public. So it was previously around 4 hours. But right now, we amended our protocol that we issue notice on the preparatory phase for the dam discharge warning operation or yung spilling operation po na at least 24 hours we inform the LGUs. Ang kagandahan po with our amended protocol is the past protocol kasi we usually release water kapag puno na po yung dam kasi we have to understand that the dams serve its own purposes, especially for example po si Angat Dam wherein multi-purpose po siya. So as much as possible we would like to maintain the water elevation of Angat Dam so that it can provide the sufficient water supply for Metro Manila, also for the irrigation requirements of Bulacan and Pampanga. But to balance the purpose of the dam na nandito nga po papasok si NAPOCOR na flood control. So with the recent amendments of our protocol, so we are working on it right now. So we parang nagagaranti na po namin yung assurance sa mga downstream communities na yung mga past experiences po natin with the dams. Marami po tayong mga lesson learned about it eh. And right now we're also parang isa sa mga primary problems din namin is yung challenges of climate change. So, very unpredictable na po yung weather natin, yung dynamics po yan, even with yung na-experience nga po natin ngayon with bagyong Christine na every time na maglalabas ng update si Pag-asa is paiba-iba yung track ng bagyo. And the rain bands of the typhoon is paiba-iba rin. Kaya yung adaptability ng operations ni NAPOCOR pagdating sa mga dams, so yung po natin na assurance na we release water ng hindi pa puno yung ating dam. Kaya pagdating po ng malaking ulan, hindi na po katulad dati na malaki rin po yung marirelease natin para to avoid yung pag-apaw ng ating dam. So yun po yung parang maganda pong naging also with the directive of our president. So yun po, may mga amendments na po tayo with our dam protocols.
So pwede nating sabihin sa mga tao na unlike before, maiiwasan na yung ganung mga senaryo.
Yes po. Hindi ko naman po sinasabi na mali yung mga operations before kasi yung mga operations before is we did it following also the protocol. So laging sinusunod po yung ating protocol. But we have to understand that with the recent changes po sa ating environment, so marami na pong mga even yung characteristics po ng ating ilog, lumiliit na po yung mga capacities, ganyan. So yung pong ating protocols, we need also to amend and adjust to accommodate po yung mga changes po nito. So right now yung assurance natin is talagang as much as possible we would like to assure the communities na minimize na po yung unless we will be experiencing yung sabihin natin na malakas na talaga na pag-ulan that we have no other choice but to mag-release po ng malaki para to ensure naman po yung safety ng ating dams. Pero right now, ano na po tayo, Sinapocor? Assured na po yung ating mga communities.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sarah. In closing, maybe we can ask Secretary Rex, any final messages to our audience?
Well, una sa lahat, thank you for having us, Daphne. Sa ngalan ng Department of Social Welfare and Development, nais naming i-assure ang ating mga kababayan na naapektuhan ng bagyong Christine na nakahanda ang aming departamento na mag-supply ng mga family food packs nationwide sa ating mga local government units na siya namang magdi-distribute sa ating mga residente. Makakaasa ho kayo na tuloy-tuloy po yan ang ating instruction ng ating mahal na Pangulo na walang pamilya o walang biktima ng kalamidad na to na magugutom. Pangalawa, kapag bumaba na ho ang tubig baha, sisiguraduhin naman natin na ang mga cash relief or cash assistance magsisimula na sa mabilis na panahon. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Secretary Gatchalian. Thank you, Director Posadas, AGM Palomar.